Next caller, what's up?
What's up, Steven?
Hi.
My name is Angela, and I'm actually calling from Cancun, Mexico right now. But my question for you is, if there was one thing that you could change about the world to make it a better place, a better world, what is something that you would change and why? And that's my question. Thank you.
I appreciate that call, Angela, and I appreciate that question. If there's one thing in the world that I would change, it's the existence of racism of any sort. At the end of the day, treat all of God's creatures like they're God's creatures, particularly human beings, of course. I wish there was no racism. I wish there was no misogynism. I wish there was no xenophobia. I wish there was no homophobia. I wish there was no transphobia. I wish that we focused on equality. I often tell white folks in America, because that is the power structure in this country, they still make up 58.9% of the population. They still have the most powerful positions in the world. I often tell white folks this. You want to eradicate the problems that exist between you and other communities? Treat white people the same way you treat them. Like, for example, when we had some police officers, by the way, all of whom were not white, and they were shooting unarmed black men, as egregious and uncalled for and wrong and criminal as that was, it would have been a entirely different reaction if we saw the same thing happen to whites too. When a white man is in Oklahoma City running or driving away in a speed chase away from the cops and shooting out of his window at the cops, but he somehow gets arrested, not shot. When Dylan Roof goes into a church in South Carolina and kills 9 people who are worshiping, and not only do you arrest him instead of shoot him, but you stop him at Burger King on the way to jail to get him a burger because he's hungry. But unarmed black men were getting shot. That's a problem. And that points to racism. Whereas if it had happened to white folks just the way it happened to black folks, and that stuff had been chronicled, then it would have been citizens against law enforcement, as opposed to black versus white. The same principle applies in every walk of life, including corporate America. If you treat people equally, whether it's good or bad, problems are easily identified, less of a position to be argumented and debated, and in a better position to be resolved. When you focus on equality, that's why I say racism. Because even though that's black and white and the other things aren't necessarily black or white, racism is the foundation of it all. It breeds from that. Because once racism was prevalent in the mind's eye of folks in this country and throughout this world, people started saying, okay, what about our issues? Which is where the other issues came forward. Let's do what we can to negate that. And that will help make the world a better place.